Okay, our test today is at green. Now what we want to do is test a little bit more methods that we're going to be using for our learning process, and then we're going to go to the next step. Now the first method I want to test is a method that I'm going to call has started series, and this method is going to help us know if a user is actually clicked on that start series button and is actually watching the series. Okay, so this is going to be a unit test like the others. So in our user test, we're going to create a new test. So public function test can know if a user has started a series. Okay, so how do we want this test to work? First we need a user, right? And then we need maybe two series, and then the user watches or completes a lesson in the first series and it does not watch one in the second series. Okay, then we assert that returns true for has started series for the first series, and then has started series for the second series does not return true, it returns false. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. You'll understand more. So first of all, since we're dealing with Redis, we're gonna flash Redis. So flash Redis, we'll get a user, create a lesson. We'll also create some random lessons just like we're doing here, and I think we're gonna need all of this. So I'm gonna copy that, come right here to my arrange step and paste it in. So user, and then we have a lesson, and we have two random lessons right here. So what I'm gonna do is lesson and lesson 2 should belong to one series, so to series 1, just like it is now. And then I'm gonna create lesson 3, which should belong to another series. Therefore I'm going to remove this customizing array right here. So we have two lessons that belong to series 1, and then we have one lesson that belongs to series 2, which is going to automatically be created by this factory. Okay, now we want to complete a lesson in series 1. So we'll say user complete lesson, and let's say he completes lesson 2, for example. Okay, then we can run our assertions. We're going to say this assert true that user has started, and we'll pass in series 1 as an argument right here. Okay, so we'll get the lesson, this lesson right here, and we'll get its series, okay, which is the same as lesson 2 series. Then we want to assert false that user has started series for lesson 3. Okay, so our has started series method, when we pass in series 1 into this method, it should return true because we actually completed a lesson in that series, meaning we started learning that series, and it should return false because we have not completed any series for lesson 3. Sorry, so we should be checking for lesson 3 right here. Okay, because we haven't completed any series in series 2, which is from this series, because this is automatically going to generate a new series. Then this should return false, but then this should return true because we have series 1 right here and we completed a lesson in series 1. Okay, so let's run this test. PHP unit filter to this test. Great, so we don't have that method has started series. Now we'll just head over to our learning.php, and right down at the bottom we can create that method. Okay, so this method takes in a series class. Run that again. So field asserting that null is true, but this should actually return a boolean, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the specific key for that user and that series. Okay, and then we're gonna check if the number of elements in that array is greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, it means the user actually completed one lesson in that series. But then if it's 0, it means the user did not complete anything, right? So we have get number of completed lessons for a series. So we can return this get number of completed lessons for a series. We'll pass in the series right here. So we have now a number, which is the number of lessons that the user has completed for this particular series. Then we can compare to 0, and if it's greater than 0, it means the user has completed at least one of the lessons in this series, which means the user has started this series. But then if it's not greater than 0, if it's 0, means the user has not yet started this series, and our Redis store does not have any record of it. Okay, so let's run our test one more time. Great, and we have a successful test. Okay, so we can now use has started series in our views wherever we want to check if the user has started a series. So for example, on the landing page for a series, we can check, has the user started the series? If he has started the series, then rather than displaying a start series button, display a continue series button. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Let's continue with some fun methods in the next lesson.